Hello. Today we are going to talk about Hoofdzin+Bijzin, the main sentence or the secondary or a side sentence. Something a lot of my students struggle with. Therefore, I want to make a video about it. It is basically two inversions in one sentence. Two sentences, but two inversions in one sentence. Sentence. Quite difficult. All right. Now, what do I mean by that? We can talk a lot, but let's just have a look at it. Here's a voorbeeld example. Start with an inversion word. Yeah, we did that in the last video. Omdat ik moe ben, ga ik naar huis. Well, that's weird, because why is it not ik ga naar huis? That's just a rule that we have to follow. There's not really a lot of logic to it. It's just set in stone. We just have to say verb first, then subject. Verb, then subject, and then everything normal sentence structure. Okay. So again, omdat ik moe ben, that's your first inversion, the one we talked about last time. You start with your subject and everything else, and then you end with your verb. And then after the comma, you go for the verb, and then you go for the subject. Why? It just is after the comma. This little thingy thing is where we have to do it. So after the comma, ga ik, komt hij, kwamen zij. Don't worry, I'm not going over those two. Let's go into them. So, als hij, subject, tijd is a time, heeft, the verbs in the end. Okay, cool. Now here's the new thing. We have a comma. So we start with the verb and then the subject. Komt hij langs. Alright. Komt hij morgen met zijn vrienden langs. Doesn't matter, you can make it as long as you like. Yeah? If he has time, he will come by tomorrow with his friends. It doesn't matter how long you make the sentence. The most important is that you start with your verb and then you do a subject, and everything else is just as normal. And yes, I understand this is very confusing and annoying. Dutch is like that sometimes. I'm very real about it. But it's basically, there's no way around it. We just have to do it a couple times. Okay. Goed, let's do one more. Toen haar kinderen, subject, haar kinderen, thuis woonden. Woonde is your verb. Now our big friend, the comma, is here. So we start with the verb and then we do the subject. Vaak is your time, hier is a place, and spelen is your extra verb, and the rest of the sentence is normal. Normal sentence structure. Okay? After the comma, we use the verb or the subject, then the rest of the sentence is normal structure. If you want to pause the video and write this down, please do. You can make a screenshot, whatever helps, do it. You don't have to know this after one try. I don't think most people won't remember it after one time seeing it. So feel free to write all of this down with pen and paper. Yeah. All right. But we keep continuing. We go to the next thing. We have a hoofdzin plus inversion plus a bijzin. What does that mean? A main sentence, a side sentence plus an inversion. Oh God, it all sounds very difficult. It kind of is in a way. But I'm going to try to make it as easy as I can. Let's do for example. Ik ga volgende week met mijn broer naar Portugal. I told this last time, doesn't matter, I tell it again, I tell it 20 more times. This is a normal sentence, right? Ik ga volgende week, it's a time, met mijn broer naar Portugal. Perfect. Then we have omdat. Omdat is an inversion word. So we have to use the inversion. Ik, mijn familie daar, en wil en zien are verbs. So that's how we end it. Ik ga volgende week met mijn broer naar Portugal, omdat ik mijn familie daar wil zien. Excuse me. Same principle. Okay. Now, if you dissect this, it's actually two different sentences. First, ik ga volgende week met mijn broer naar Portugal. And then, ik wil mijn familie daar zien. Why don't we just write it like this? Because omdat is an inversion word, and that's why we have to say, ik mijn familie daar wil zien. Omdat, dat, als, toen, hierna, whatever. We have so many inversion words. How do I know all of them? Learning by doing. But for now, omdat, toen, als, these are very useful. Today we just stick with omdat. In the other video you can also see how we do with als and toen is exactly the same. It's just a different meaning to the word. But the grammar stays the same. Alright, let's do another one. Again, pause the video, write your notes. But for now, Jan vliegt volgende maand naar Mallorca. Well, Jan is very lucky. He's flying to Mallorca next month. Hij daar aan het strand wilt liggen en zijn vrienden wilt zien. That's not a good sentence. That's all wrong. So, hij wilt daar aan het strand liggen en hij wilt zijn vrienden zien. Now, these are two good sentences. But now I want to combine these two sentences with omdat. That means we might have to take some words out and we have to reshuffle things. Now, first one we just can copy paste this. Jan vliegt volgende maand naar Mallorca. Right? Omdat, here we go, inversion. Hij daar aan het strand wilt liggen. Oh, that's great. We did that before. But now we have an extra. En zijn vrienden wilt zien. Now we see a comma and we see n. This is a continuation of the sentence. This is where it gets kind of tricky, because we basically have three sentences in what you can see as one sentence. Basically, you have a normal sentence, you have an inversion sentence, and then you have another inversion, which is this one, the one we did before. Omdat ik moe ben, ga ik naar huis. Same thing. Okay. Zijn vrienden wilt en hen zien. So subject, and you have the verb. In this case, we only have an extra verb, so we say zien again. Have a look at it, pause it. It is quite difficult. It will make sense soon. Let's do one more. I said one sentence. De meiden, the girls, gingen in het restaurant met elkaar lekker eten. Zij elkaar al lang niet meer hebben gezien. Now, that doesn't really work together. So we have to combine them with omdat. De meiden gingen in het restaurant met elkaar lekker eten. Let's just copy-paste. Omdat, inversion, zij elkaar al lang niet meer hebben gezien. Hebben en gezien are your extra verbs. You put them in the end. Now, if you're going to practice this by yourself, remember, you start with the subject, and then you know you have to put the verbs all the way in the end. That's important. Everything else you can fill in. If you say, met de trein in het hotel, whatever, if you say the hotel first of met de trein, it's not the end of the world. But just make sure that you absolutely start with the subject, that you end with your verbs, and then you should be absolutely fine. That's it. Well, it's difficult, and we have to practice it. Feel free to book a lesson with me, like and subscribe for more. Pause the video, make notes, and I hope to see you next time. Thank you very much.